Hello, my name is Gayane Yelena Hovnanian Alexanian. I currently live in New Jersey, Red Bank, but I grew up in Yerevan, Armenia. I work in Yerevan, Armenia as a volunteer for Oran, benevolent uh, NGO. And yes,
Perfect.
uh,
Anything more? I'm sorry.
Um, do I talk about my work? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please talk
Ah,
about your
right,
work. It's perfect.
right. Sorry.
Please talk about your
Um,
work and what difference it makes. And if you can share a story about your work, that would be wonderful.
I primarily work with children ages 5 to 10. Uh, the NGO that I work in, Oran, is for disadvantaged children and disadvantaged elderly. The children are mostly either in poverty, are refugees, or are orphaned. So what I do, I shadow the lead psychologist, Lilit Rashoyan, in how she works with children, such as with play therapy or with drawing therapy. And during the school year, so from September till May, uh, I help the children with their English and their homework. And in between, I play with them. I help them with emotional regulation, of course, with the guidance of my of the lead psychologist, and overall, just provide a very safe space where these kids could just relax. And a story I could share from being at the NGO would be, it's a really good one. Ah, so I had previously asked the lead psychologist if we could have an activity where we could talk about our feelings, because this was about right after the war in 2023. So there were a lot of new refugees that were coming in, and the lead psychologist thought it was a great idea. So we invited the kids in a circle and we encouraged them to draw what they were feeling and to express what type of thoughts that they were having now that they were in a new environment. And I got to stay with these kids that I haven't known for very long at the time. It's been about a month since I started working with them. And that month of us being with each other really made such a difference because comparing how they were in the beginning and how they were at this activity, they were very, very safe to express themselves. One turned to me, his name was Jacob, and he asked, I have all these emotions and I don't know what to do with them. I don't feel like I belong here, but I know this is where I have to be. What do I do? And I held his hands, his little hands, because he was about 6 or 7, I think. He was young. And I just said to cry because what else could this kid do? I mean, it is his right to express himself, especially for what he doesn't have to act tough or strong. He just has to be a child, you know? So we cried together and we shared with the rest of the group. Everybody shared what they were feeling and their happy places and stories of their home. And that will always stick with me because in the beginning, I didn't think I was making really any difference. I was just helping them with their homework and, playing with the silent game to calm them down and and all these little things. And finally being at this round table with them, I realized I am making a difference. And even if it's small, it's great. And I really discovered what I wanted to do that moment.
God, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. for sharing that. So, how do you define peace? And what is the source of your dedication to peace in the work that you do?
For the long time, trying to figure out this question when it was sent to me, I thought to myself, I don't know how to. But then I remember my time spent in America and how carefree, not carefree, but relatively in the community that I lived in there, how, how relaxed everybody was. Like, no one had to worry about a war. No one had to worry about having to, protect yourselves against forces that you are not aware of, or, preparing for a bunker or rations. It's just serene almost. People just thought of everyday things. Oh, I have to get the groceries. Oh, maybe I should pick up some few little treats for my kids. Oh, we should definitely have a dinner on Tuesday because so and so is on the TV and we could all hang out and relax. That in my idea where no one has to think about it, like about all these atrocities, that's peace in a world where you don't, it's not a concern. And um, my source of dedication for peace is to see the kids that way, to see the kids that I work with not having to worry about war or extreme poverty or sickness or immense sadness that is beyond their control, for them to experience their childhood, really enjoy it, get the most of it, and not have it robbed from them. That's my dedication. That's why I do the work that I do. It's for them, to see them smile.
That's so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, in your work for peace, of what are you most proud?
A lot of the kids, I mean, I can't even put into words how different they were when I started working and how far they've come. I mean, it takes so much strength and resilience. Sorry. um, I'm really proud of the team that's been there before I was there, the volunteers, the teachers. I have a few that I've listed here that I work with directly, Astrid Hovnanian and Lucine Hakopian. Astrid is with the younger kids and also is in charge of the volunteers. And Lucina is with the older kids and the middle kids and the middle school aged kids. I mean, I'm just, I'm proud of, I'm proud of the team, and I'm proud of the kids for everybody working together and for making really big strides and for keeping an open mind to a lot of the things that we are teaching um, and we are providing them, because when it comes to psychology in Armenia, it's an underdeveloped study. It's very much what's the word, stereotyped, where, oh, if you need psychologists and automatically that makes you weak. But these kids, we work with them, and they you see them playing in the backyard and behind the or in the school, or the buildings, backyard thing. I don't know how to describe it. I'm really sorry.
No
Um,
worries.
it's in school bounds, but it's outside. So is it the backyard? I'm not sure. Sorry. But they're playing together and they're lively and they're happy. And it's remarkable. And I'm so proud of them.
Yes, beautiful. So, What do you want others to know about you and your work for peace?
That in the grand scheme of things, um, what I'm doing isn't special. In the sense of I didn't think I would be here. I I'm a good student. I before volunteering, before 2020 and 2023, I lived in relative peace in Armenia. I mean, we'd always have threats of war, but they would always be at the borders, and it always felt so detached. So I would rag on and on how I wanted to be this creative. And then in 2020, when the explosion in Beirut happened, and I started volunteering along with my sister to send aid to Lebanon. And then shortly afterwards, when the war in 2020 happened in Artsakh and I started gathering supplies there, I, it's not something that requires like, oh, you need all these expertise so you can do this. Anyone can. Most of the volunteers at Odan aren't trained in child welfare. I'm not. I'm in school for it. I'm in school for psychology. I don't have my certificate yet, but I go and I play with these kids. I help them with their homework. I help them with lunch. I teach them English. My fellow volunteer teaches them geography. uh, it's, you don't need all these qualifications. You can just start and work and volunteer, and you do get so much out of it. I mean, it's, you would think, oh, I can't handle it, it's just so stressful. No, I mean, there are stressful times that you're taking care of kids who aren't fully adults yet. I mean, they don't know how to emotionally regulate properly. They don't know how to think or say what they think or really feel. They have all these, they have all this growing to do, and they're sponges. You say one thing by accident, and next thing you know, they're repeating it to three other children. And you're like, oh my God, what have I done? You know? But it's beautiful. I mean, these kids are amazing. And you feel so fulfilled. So I really encourage whoever does, you know, who is considering maybe, oh, I should do this for my CV or whatever. No, do it for yourself. Do it for the kids. You'll not imagine how much you end up enjoying it. That's how I found my calling. I mean, if it weren't for the really horrible circumstances of Beirut and Artsakh, I wouldn't be with the kids. And it's incredible. It's so valuable. And it's great. I wouldn't trade any second I've ever spent with these kids. I wouldn't even, it's great. I encourage everybody to do it. If you feel you don't feel confident, just go for it. If it's still not your thing, donate. Donate your clothes. If you have a bajillion things in your closet you've never worn or never will wear, donate it to somebody that will. I mean, you never know.